Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you all are doing good. It's been a fantastic week. I hope you've had a fantastic week. Welcome to Codacity. I'd like us to cover cryptocurrencies in China. Some interesting things are happening in China, and I'd like us to see what's going on so that we can get an idea of where cryptocurrency is heading. Tencent, for those who may not know, Tencent is a massive conglomerate in China. They operate two big apps, WeChat and a QQ messaging app. So they've released QQ Coin. QQ Coin is going to operate on the QQ messaging app. They've beaten Facebook Libra. They've beaten them to the race. I think this is interesting. I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out, especially with the recent crackdown in terms of cryptocurrencies in China by the People's Republic of China. Though they've been kind of easing a little bit, but let's see. The second biggest news, which I think is the biggest news, is that China's central bank is releasing a digital currency that has been in development for the past 5 years. I think this is massively bullish for Bitcoin. This is bullish for cryptocurrencies in general. This is bullish for the blockchain ecosystem. We're seeing here that the head of the Payment and Settlement Division of the People's Bank of China is saying that they have an existing central bank digital currency prototype that has been in development for the past 5 years. A key concern I'm seeing is that they're saying that this coin is not going to enjoy a pure blockchain architecture. And the reason this is that they fear a blockchain architecture may not be able to handle the volume and the veracity of transactions in the banking ecosystem in China. And I think this is a valid concern. Some of the architectures we're seeing are really slow, especially when you need high throughput in terms of transactions. So I think this is a valid concern. So I think they're treating this as more of a stable coin, which is okay. I don't see any problem in that, but regardless, I think this is bullish for the entire cryptocurrency space. So what impact will the Chinese central bank digital currency have on the global financial system? One, China will definitely enjoy fast move advantages. Essentially, when you move into any industry as the first person, you get to enjoy fast mover benefits. China will definitely be seen as a leader in digital currencies, and at the moment, the West is the dominant leader in terms of innovations. They've innovated a lot in terms of blockchains, in terms of the types of cryptocurrencies we have, in terms of the token economy. But once digital currencies become common, China might essentially, flip the whole table. They might come up with new forms of payment. They might come up with new forms of currencies, with new forms of tokens. And definitely this should be a big worry for the West. The second impact is that as China rolls out the new CDBC, they're going to introduce a two-tier banking structure whereby you've got the People's Bank of China and under it you've got the commercial banks. The purpose of this structure, as per the People's Republic of China, is that they need to ensure that the digital currency is being deployed and it's being used as intended, basically to ensure smoother delivery. Now, how this affects the banking system is yet to be seen, so we are going to see how this will impact the Chinese financial sector. The third impact is that this will make the yuan more attractive to the global financial markets. Remember that China is the second world largest economy, and the reason they've maintained this grip is that they've constantly devalued their currency to make sure that goods are much more easier to produce in China than anywhere else in the world. Now, this constant devaluation has meant that the global financial market has had an unattractive view towards the Chinese yuan. They see it as highly volatile, as a currency that you cannot depend on, so they don't like holding it. They don't even like transacting in it. And definitely this move by the Chinese central bank to digitize the yuan, it's definitely going to make the yuan much more sexy towards the global financial markets, towards the businesses, towards the companies that are doing business in China. Definitely we'll see how this will work out. I think it's going to work out quite well. Definitely this is going to increase the adoption of the yuan in the global financial market. So the fourth impact is that we're going to see a lot of economies transition from the dollar to the CDBC. This is a bit farther into the future when the CDBC starts being operational in the global financial markets. At the moment, it's going to be restricted to the Chinese banking sector. But once the yuan becomes more global, we're going to see China transitioning a lot of economies from major currencies like the dollar, to the yuan, which I believe is going to be backed yuan to the CDBC. I'm not sure how they're going to back that. I don't know if it's going to be a one-to-one pairing, but since it's a stable coin, I think I can assume that. So definitely we're going to see a lot of economies in the future transition from the dollar to the yuan. China's goal is to become the world's largest economy, and for them to do that, a lot of global trade has to happen on the yuan and in extension to the CDBC. So those are the impacts I think the CDBC is gonna have both inside the Chinese banking sector and in the global financial markets. What other impacts do you think it's gonna have? Please hit me in the comments, tell me, I'd love to hear from you. So if you like this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, you know what to do. Hit subscribe and remember to hit the notification bell icon so that you can get notified when I release new videos. Thank you, and till next time.